watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire wrestling community. And I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
And together we are...
Rope
Break. And family, it's time to talk about Smackdown, the Friday night show. Sorry for the ones that were about to go live, but unfortunately we had some internet issues, so we just decided to just make the video. That way you guys don't go without the review. So Paul, Smackdown that actually was pretty disappointing, right?
Yeah, it started off hot. We saw the return of John Cena. Well, not the return, but, John Cena started the show again. The fans were excited. And then, we'll get into it, but then Baron Corbin came out, and that pretty much set, the tone for the rest of the show. Just downhill. Not
it went
very
really
good.
Bad.
And, even though we had the return of Sasha Banks, too, but that didn't even feel special. That felt just like generic. Poor Sasha. So, not a very good episode of SmackDown.
Not a very good episode. So, family, thank you so very much for the subscriptions and everything that you do for the channel. Thank you for AEW, support. NXT UK also, hey, and it's not over yet for Valkyrie and Jinny. A really great match. And also, we're going to see more hype. It's going to be Walter and Ilya Dragunov. So, please be with us for this video. So, like you said, Jean-Paul, SmackDown starts with John Cena. He opens the show. He says a lot of things about Roman Reigns. How, it took 2 years for the crowd to accept him, how The Rock came back, and yet he came as Dwayne Johnson, but he stayed the same. I'm the same guy, you hate me, you love me, I don't care because I'm going to stay the same. So he cuts a good promo, in intensity, not as 100%, but at least, 80, 85 enough. And, we got to see Baron Corbin, though, and then he takes away about everything, about the work that Cena did.
Yeah, Cena cut a great promo, like you said. He got the fans are, they see Cena as a star. They love this guy. They're excited. And then Corbin comes out and pretty much says, hey, man, I'm broke. Can you help me out? You're a big Hollywood actor. I can be, in Fast and the Furious. I can be, or in Suicide Squad. I can be your stunt double. Cena's really, dude? Look at you. You can't be my stunt double. Don't be bullshit. And they keep going,
Squad already.
Yeah, and they keep going back and forth. And then Cena's you know what? You need an attitude adjustment. Boom, he hits him with an AA. And it's the segment was good. He was talking about Finn Balor. Hey, no disrespect, but, I think I deserve the match at SummerSlam, this and that. And you think, okay, it was good. And then Corbin comes out, completely ruins it. So, not good.
It didn't start out good, and like I said, Cena ends up hot, but you don't need to do this at the expense of Corbin, and that's why the show, I think, they didn't make the right decision when it comes to that. So let's talk about Rey Mysterio and Dominic. He just says, "Mijo, you're being fucking up a lot. So let me do the work. Let me do the work, and let me see. Yeah, your old men still have a few tricks." All right, legit. So he goes against Jimmy Uso, it was against Jimmy Uso. So the match pretty decent. We got to see Jimmy Uso is good. Rey is also a pretty good wrestler yet. So the important thing about this whole thing is that actually Dominic was the one that ends up helping out Rey, and actually they win with the same medicine or with the same strategy that the Usos won the tag titles. So pretty good. I mean, of course, the rivalry is going to still going on. Probably there's going to end up at SummerSlam.
Yeah, and if we see this match again at SummerSlam, I mean, they've been putting on really good matches. So, if you kind of build this up, make it feel awesome, make it feel legit, I'm excited for it at SummerSlam. And I like this match as well, just because, like you said, hey, if you're going to cheat against us, we're going to cheat against you. And, that they use some dirty tactics here, but, it was good because it kind of rubbed the, the heel's face in the dirt, had taste of your own medicine. So this was good. I had no problems with this.
Exactly. So, Rey gets the win. So, probably next week is going to be what? Dominic and against Jey Uso.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's like the booking that WWE always likes to give us. So, you know how it is, family. So, we got to see Bianca Belair also. She's the one, she's happy. She retained the championship against Carmella. Even in the house shows when there was a wardrobe malfunction and all of that. So, Carmella receiving the love from the WWE Universe is fine. We all like that. But then Carmella again comes out for, Jean-Paul's, joy. She's always hot, and there's nothing bad to say about her. Then Zelina Vega comes out also, they both won a championship opportunity with Bianca, so she's whatever, I can beat both of you even in handicap. And then they are attacking her, but all of a sudden then Sasha Banks comes out. So that I don't know if that was necessary for this show, or I don't know if the pop was enough for me. But she comes out, she defends Bianca Belair, she helps to take away Carmella and also Zelina, and at the end we see a little bit of a dance. So this was bad for me because then later on, Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville, they make this the main event. So I'm okay, this is going to be a bad show. Not saying because I don't like these girls, but this storyline, then later on they answer my question, and I knew why they did it, but this was not a good segment for me.
Yeah, I mean, the return of Sasha felt really flat. And like you said, Carmella coming out again, challenging. Before that, we knew it wasn't going to be Carmella again because it's like, how many times are you going to keep giving us this match? And you and I had said, they're going to have to do the rematch with Sasha at some point. And, no Bailey. And I mean, I feel like this was the plans regardless. Hey, let's do it again at SummerSlam. That's the second biggest pay per view of the year next to WrestleMania. So, with not to spoil it, but I mean, I feel like anybody with a brain knew how this was going to go. Sasha wasn't going to be a babyface. She wants her title back.
Yes, so like that's what later on we're gonna find out when she really do it. But everybody was like, okay, she's babyface now. We're gonna see till the end. This was also bad. I don't know why Reginald is part of like this show. I don't like. Isn't like the 24/7 championship was supposed to be a thing for Raw? Isn't like the USA Network were the ones that like created that title? But anyway, so of course they're gonna have him doing that like the segment with R-Truth that I thought it was awful. If you don't believe me, then go watch the Monday Night Raw review. It was one of like the most seen things on YouTube by WWE. So of course they have to do that. They have to cash in on this. So the Alpha Academy are the ones that like, especially Chad Gable, are going to be challenging Reginald or Reggie now, how he goes by. And I mean, like, of course you see like the flips, all of that. He should be on AEW. If he's that good like that, he should be on AEW doing all of those things. But Otis just made this disqualification. So you get to see Reggie's retaining the title. I don't know why we're even talking about this segment, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's the Alpha Academy should be used with something better, not this joke.
Yep, yeah, it's not. We shouldn't be doing like that. So let's go with we're gonna see a Universal Championship sign up, contract signing, and this normally this will be at the end, right? But because Sasha Banks come out, she was her return, so they have to do that in the mid show. And maybe Roman agrees, like, hey, it's fine. This show is not going to be important. It's not going to be anything like that. So it's okay if I'm in the in the middle of the show. So we got to see that. Finn Balor always didn't have not much of a chance to talk. But like Roman Reigns just was like, hey, I'm going to give you the beatdown of a lifetime and I'm going to send you back to NXT. So they really give you that sense that like NXT is really like, a lower company or like a lower brand. I don't like that. I don't know how you feel about that, but like for poor Finn Balor, like 2 weeks in, already done.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think, and then when he fired back, he really didn't say much, and it was after Roman, like you said, pretty much just buried him, and then they go to sign the contract, but then Cena comes out, and all that, he signed it, and then it's Cena. I thought it was going to be a triple threat because Baron Corbin then comes in, and it's all a big schmoz, a big brawl, and that's again. You have the contract signing. It should be legit. Why is Corbin there? You know what I mean? He just kills all these segments. It's awful.
Yep. Well, Finn Balor, Corbin start attacking Finn Balor, so that takes him away. And then, there's a spot right there. So, like Corbin was about to sign the contract, but then Cena comes out. Cena takes Corbin away, and then he's the one that signs. And the match just seems official. Roman Reigns, so oh my God, they're going to have to do this. So, yeah, Cena and Roman Reigns is going to be official for SummerSlam. I don't know if it was needed to be done in this way.
No, if this was a thing where you're going to, Cena's not going to win the belt, because he's not going to be there full time. If this is something to tease Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns, but Finn Balor needs a feud though before Roman Reigns. Really, Baron Corbin is the first and the best person that you're going to feud Finn Balor with?
Yeah,
I don't like that, but at least we're getting the match we all wanted to see. Cena versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam.
And also, later on, we got to see Paul Heyman. He's questioning the decisions, what you're gonna do? This is not fair. This is not how it's supposed to be done. And it's no, it should have been Finn Balor. And he's nope, no, Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville are nope, this is how it's gonna be. I'm fine with the decision. We just made it official. Roman Reigns versus John Cena at SummerSlam. And I just don't understand why we have to have Finn Balor in the mix for that. If you wanted to give me this already, just make it official, and that was the end of it. And then this is what Finn Balor's going to get, next Friday with Baron Corbin. So, I feel really bad for Finn. There was no reason for that, family. This doesn't make any sense. And also, something that didn't make any sense at all, it was we said that this was going to be a 6-man tag, and it was. Shinsuke Nakamura, Big E, Cesaro. I still feel bad for Cesaro. He doesn't deserve this. Against Apollo Crews, and, also, Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode. That was just for me, all these guys completely buried. And I mean, Nakamura is the only one that seems to be maybe receiving a push.
Yeah, I mean, you have 6 guys in here that are all superstars, and they could be, main event guys on your brand, on your show. They could be your world heavyweight champion. A couple of them were, heavyweight champions, but I mean, they just present them like such jokes. Like you said, how can you get behind Nakamura when every week you have Rick Boogs? And, at first it was funny, and it was like, oh, him playing the guitar is badass, but it's the same thing every week. It's boring. Cesaro had so much momentum. That's gone. Yeah, Big E's the Money in the Bank, briefcase holder. So, I mean, that has a little momentum. But we know the Dirty Dogs are a bunch of losers, and we know what Apollo Crews does. He either wins the match because Aziz cheats, or he wins the match from behind because Aziz, pretty much beats up his opponent, and then he's able to steal the win. So
yeah,
I don't know. True. I mean, I can't get into any of these guys until they, actually do something legit with them.
Yeah, no, and the Apollo Crews is like looking really weak now. I mean, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens, they were not on the show, which is okay. We need a week off from them. It's fine, but maybe Shinsuke Nakamura with Apollo. Basically, Shinsuke's going to be an IC champion one more time. He doesn't have a caliber enough, it seems, for them to be world heavyweight champion. But that's WWE for you. So there you go. You got to see a rated R superstar. We didn't actually get to hear him because he's actually coming out. All of that. He's actually we're celebrating with the crowd. He's like, give me more of this, because he's really feeling the crowd. So I guess that's why he's actually doing all of this, is because he wants to maybe his last run to be with the people. The fans really embrace them. He did an interview with that child also. That was really cool on Edge's part. But and then we go to commercial break, and during commercial break, Seth Rollins just beats him up. Beats him up, he jumps him from the back, and then he hits him in one of the cameras. So then he just says that he doesn't have any regrets about this, because he feels that he should have got the match at SummerSlam. It's not Edge. He's like, you are everything that I want. You've been taking, and I'm tired. It's now I'm going to take everything from you. And, Seth Rollins just kind of a really heel promo. So another match that they're going to make official really soon for SummerSlam.
Yeah, and they showed a video package, kind of everything that happened leading up to this and stuff. I mean, the match it'll be good, but I mean, it was okay. I didn't hate this or anything, but it was just so funny. Like you said, Edge is just yee, feeling the crowd, and then just beat up, and then Rollins pretty much, says that it's not done. He pretty much that he should have the title. So
yeah, so this was not good. To take away Edge, but it's people wanted to see him, wanted to hear him. Maybe he's gonna wrestle, for the dark matches. Maybe they will do something like that. I'm assuming, just to help people in Minnesota and everything. They were actually popping. They were actually a really good crowd. So we gotta give him that. Yep. So let's go to the main event, and the main event, like we said, was going to be a tag match, and that was going to be Carmella and also Bianca Belair. Carmella and Selena going against Bianca and Sasha Banks. And poor Carmella, poor Selena. These girls actually, they should deserve a little better. For me, Selena's a good heel. Carmella has decent matches now. She's not like she was before. And at the expense of Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Why they have to put them over? I mean, the match was decent. A lot of Sasha, when Sasha got the tag and everything, everybody was loving it. And Bianca is normal. She's decent in the ring also. So what did you think? Because in the end, of course, boom, bang, statement, and done.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks because you knew returning Sasha Banks, you already knew that the baby faces weren't going to lose this. And, it's like, man, can Selena ever look good? Not that she looks bad, oh man, she's a bad wrestler or anything, but she's never on the winning end. Her tag team never wins. It's she came back, but for what reason? To just job out all the time.
Yeah.
And, this would have been an opportunity. Because I felt like there wasn't really a big reaction to Sasha Banks. Why couldn't that have been a Liv Morgan instead of,
Yeah,
I'm not saying have Liv Morgan attack Bianca, but at least have her tag with her. They both raise their hands. They both celebrate as the show goes off the air, to be oh man, Liv, she can stand toe to toe with the champ, and tag with her, kind of puts her almost on that same status.
No, exactly. So no, they didn't do that. So I mean, and then the biggest, shocking of the night, the biggest shocker right there, Sasha Banks turns into Bianca Belair. Shocker, you can put that even in parentheses. You knew that this was going to happen. Like you said, Sasha Banks coming back for what? What's the main reason? Is I want my title back. So Banks statement to her, she raised the SmackDown Women's Championship. So this is going to be the match for SummerSlam. This is fine.
Yeah.
We were waiting for it. Like you said, no Becky yet. I mean, they're going to delay that. But you were very right when you said that she's going to come back to this division. So I'm assuming Sasha wins, right? So that's a heel. So she's gonna have a baby face to feud with, and then who's gonna be that? It's gonna be Becky. So there you go, and then the show goes off the air like this. Banks statement. I mean, Sasha Banks is gonna be one of the main attractions for SummerSlam. Are we all excited? It's not bad to see a rematch, especially like they gave us a good match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and I mean, if they go the path you said, I wouldn't hate it too much. They were saying, oh, Bianca had a long title reign, 110 or 111 days, something like that. They were saying, so they are trying to say that it has been a pretty, long time, at least for modern standards, of a title reign. But I mean, I wouldn't also be surprised if Bianca wins again at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see, because remember, the fans have been chanting a lot for Becky on Monday Night Raw because where Charlotte is and everything. So maybe she's going to go to that show, and feud with Charlotte Flair or somebody like that. So who really knows? But, I'm hoping that Sasha, at least when we see her next week and she cuts promos, the crowd's more into her, because tonight, I don't know. I mean, they were cheering. It's not like they were silent, like there was crickets, but it wasn't like, a crazy pop, like, oh my God, we're so happy to see you. We're happy you're back.
No, yeah, like we'll see. I mean, they were rumors that she was going to be back. So, like, I mean, the rumors were actually true. Yeah. So that's what we see. The end of the show, Sasha Banks statement to Bianca Belair. This is going to be official for the championship match at SummerSlam. So, family, this is the SmackDown review that we have for you guys. One more time, sorry, we had some technical difficulties. That's why we couldn't go live. But, we actually hope that, like, next Friday we'll actually do so. Don't forget, tomorrow I'm going to be with, like, Homecoming, Impact, show that was tape. So already I'm telling you, that was nothing live. It's not that like, oh yeah, Impact Plus is giving you something like, no, tape 2 weeks ago. Okay, so that's all you need to know. But like a lot of like matches, like the Big Mama Pump, Jordan Grace is going to be there, Rachel Ellerin, Diona, all of them are going to be there. So Paul, where they can find us in the social media world?
And guys, make sure you follow us Rope Break on Facebook, OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok. And then also right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
Family, have a great weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow. So you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...